Hi, I'm Pudifalda. Today I am going to discuss about the transportation of animals. Already we discussed about the transportation in plant. Now we are going to discuss about the how the transportation take place in animals. This is a very important part which belongs to the life process of standard 10. We know that the transportation of materials is maybe the food or the respiratory gases or the hormone or enzyme from one place to the another place within the body that known as a transportation. Now in animals, most of the animals containing the specific system to transport or the circulate this type of materials that known as a circulatory system. So what is circulatory system? Circulatory system are the combination of organ which engage for the circulation of materials like the food materials, maybe the respiratory gas or the hormone or the enzyme. Now the circulation in animals or human beings. Human beings. Circulation. Generally, the circulation in human beings or the circulatory system, first one form the circulatory system, combination of organ which help in the circulatory system. Now, these systems are formed by the three things. These systems are formed by the three things. One is circulatory organ. Circulatory organ or the organ which control the circulation, generally the pumping machine of our body, and that is the heart. That is the heart. The second one is circulatory medium. Circulatory medium. What is circulatory medium? Circulatory medium means the fluid substance which help in the circulation. In plant that is the water, but in animals the circulatory medium may be the blood or the lymph. Blood is the red colored fluid connective tissue, generally are known as the primary circulatory medium of human beings, whereas the eolus or the colorless fluid substance that known as a secondary circulatory medium of our body. Now, this fluid are transmitted or circulated by the through the OA that known as a circulatory vessel. Circulatory vessels. Now this circulatory vessel for the blood or the vessel within which the bloods are going to be circulated that known as a blood vessels. Blood vessels. And within which the lymph are going to circulate that known as a lymph vessel. Generally these are the system within which the circulation takes place. Now we are going to discuss in the details. What is heart? Heart is the pumping machine. By which the blood are going to be circulated. Now, the location of the heart. Generally, the heart present within our chest cavity. In its open space that known as a mediastinal space between the two lungs, slightly bending towards the left, the heart is present. Clear? Now, generally the human heart, in case of the male, having the weight 280 to 310 grams, and in females 230 to 280 grams. This is the heart. Now, when we observe the structure of the heart, suppose these are the LS of a heart. This is the LS of a heart. Now, listen carefully. The heart are covered by a fine tiliar membrane that known as a pericardium. So, what is pericardium? Pericardium is a tiliar membrane which covers the heart. The outermost layer is known as a epicardium. The middle layer is known as a myocardium. And the inner layer known as a endocardium. So these are the three layers which togetherly termed as a pericardium. They are going to cover the heart. Now between the three layers a slight gap present which fills by a fluid substance that known as a pericardial fluids. Pericardial fluid. Clear? Now, in the LS of the heart, the uppermost portion are known as the atrium, and the lowermost portion are known as the ventricles. Now, atrium are the thin walled containing chamber and furtherly divided into two chambers. That are the left atrium and the right atrium. Clear? Generally, the atrium are known as the chamber of receiver. Chamber of receiver. Because this chamber are receive the blood. And the lowermost portion of the heart is known as a ventricle. Clear? Now ventricle are also divided into the two chambers. Similarly, the left ventricle and the right ventricle. These are also the thick walled containing chamber. The right ventricle. Now, the both left atrium and the right atrium are separated by a walls that known as the auricular spectrum. And similarly, both ventricles are separated by a chamber or by a walls that known as a interventricular spectrum. Clear? Now, within the heart may some valves present which prevents the backflow of the blood. Now, in our syllabus we will discuss about the four types of valves. Between the left auricles and the atrium and the left ventricles, we have a specialized valve that known as a bicuspid, and from between the right to right, there specialized valve present that known as a tricuspid. Clear? Now, another valve is pulmonary valve. What is pulmonary valve? We already know about the pulmonary arteries. So, between the right ventricle and the pulmonary arteries, one specialized valve present that known as a pulmonary arteries. And the aortic valve. Aortic valve is a specialized valve which present from the left ventricle. These are the left ventricle from where the blood are going to be circulated towards the body. But where? In the aorta. So between the aorta and left ventricle, one specialized valve is present that known as a aortic valve. So these are the valve, these are the chamber. Now, generally the human performing the double circulation. When the oxygen mixed with the blood, that known as the oxygenated blood. Generally, the oxygenated blood will be circulated from the left portion, from the left ventricle. Clear? And the deoxygenated or carboxygenated blood means if the blood mixed with the carbon dioxide. These are contained by the right portion. So within the human heart, there is not a single time the oxygenated or deoxygenated blood are going to be mixed. Or always remain the separate one. This type of circulation is termed as a double circulation. So in human beings, the double circulation takes place. But in the fish containing the two chamber heart, one auricles and one ventricles, and the lowermost portion having the conus arteriosus, where the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are going to be mixed. So in case of the fish heart having the two chamber, one auricles or the atrium and one ventricles. Now oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are going to be mixed within the heart. Then it passes or the circulated towards the body. This type of circulation are termed as a single circulation. Single circulation. But in human beings, single circulation. But in human beings, that is the double circulation. Now next, the circulatory way. The blood vessels. What is blood vessels? Or the way within which the blood are going to be circulated. Suppose these are the heart. From the heart, one type of blood vessels are created which carries the oxygenated blood towards the body parts. They are termed as a arteries. Now these arteries are divided, creating the subarteries, and suddenly for the further division, creating the net-like structure. These are also known as a capillaries. And the combination of capillaries also create one type of blood vessel which carries the deoxygenated blood from body parts to the heart. They are known as a vein. So there are the three types of blood vessel present. One is the artery which carries the oxygenated blood from heart to the body parts. Clear? And in another way, that is the veins which carries the deoxygenated blood from the body parts to the heart. And between the arteries and the veins, one net-like structure present or the net-shaped vessels are present, that known as a capillaries. Clear? Now the circulatory medium. Circulatory medium, we know about the difference between the blood and the lymph. The blood is the primary circulatory medium of human beings or in animals, because by using the blood almost over the 90% or the 95% body parts gets the food materials or the gases, or 95% of circulation are take place through the blood. And some of our body parts like the cartilage or some the nodes does not are containing the any blood circulation. They are circulated. They contain the lymph circulation. So less amount of body parts of the place are containing the lymph, where the lymph act to circulate the food materials or the gases. Clear? That's why it is termed as a secondary circulatory medium. Now what is the difference? Blood is red in color, whereas the lymph is colorless or yellow. Blood contains the pigment or blood pigment hemoglobin. Lymph does not contain the pigment. Blood circulated through the blood vessel, lymph circulated through the lymph vessel. Clear? Now you will find some question, write a short note about the blood. The first one, blood. What is blood? Blood is the primary circulatory medium of human beings or in animals, or the fluid connective tissue. The component of blood. blood is formed by the two things. One is the fluid portion that known as a plasm or the matrix of blood. Matrix means ground substance of blood, generally 55% in nature, and the blood cell or hemocyte, blood cells. Clear? Now, blood cell, the amount of blood cell will be 45%. Now, formation of plasma, almost over 90 to 92% water and the 7 to 8% of solid and gaseous substance combined and forms the ground substance of blood, that known as a plasma. Plasma is very important because plasma supplying the nutrients to the blood cell. Even during if our body contains the excessive amount of carbon dioxide, then some amount of carbon dioxide will be dissolved in the plasma and transport. And within the blood, different sizes of separate cells are scattered. They are known as a hemocyte or the blood cell. There are generally three types of blood cell present. One is the RBC, another one is the WBC, and the last one is platelets. RBC means in human beings concave separate nucleus-less cell which contain the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the blood pigment. Now, this hemoglobin plays important role in the transportation of respiratory gas like oxygen and carbon dioxide. To transport the oxygen, hemoglobin will bind with the oxygen and forms the oxyhemoglobin. Suppose around the lungs there are present a huge amount of blood vessels. So when the bloods are going to be circulate the oxygen, then the oxygen will bind with the hemoglobin and forms the oxyhemoglobin. These oxyhemoglobin are going to be circulate in the heart, in the left atrium. Clear? Now, from the left ventricle, this pure blood or oxygenated blood are going to be circulated in the body parts, and this oxygen are going to be used in respiration and creating the carbon dioxide. Now, this carbon dioxide will bind with the hemoglobin and forms the carboxyhemoglobin that will transport to the right atrium of the lungs, of the heart. Now, from the right atrium, it will transport to the right ventricles, and then from there, this is transport will be transport in the lungs, and from lungs, this carbon dioxide will be released. Now, these are the point. Now, the WBC, the irregular separate cell having the nucleus, generally providing the immunity. Now, at the presence of granular substance in the cytoplasm, these WBC are two types, granular and agranular. Granular or agranular. Granular are the neutrophil, basophil, and eosinophil, because their cytoplasm are quite granular in nature, and agranular are lymphocyte, LYMPHOCYTS, lymphocytes and monocytes. These are the agranular in nature. And the non-living component which help in the blood clotting, that known as a platelets. Now, one of the most important question, how the blood clotting take place. During the damage, some body parts are going to be damaged. A huge amount of blood loss will take place. Now, in the damaged portion, some platelets are break down. Now, these broken parts of the platelets start the coagulation process. First one, the prothrombin. At the presence of calcium ion, it converted into the thrombin. Now this thrombin will convert it into the fibrinogen and from the thrombin that will convert it into the fibrin monomer, and that will interlink and create the polymer of fibrin or a fiber shaped structure that and which helps in the blood coagulation or blood clotting. These are the part. Now next we are going to discuss about the double circulation in human beings. Now we are going to discuss about the double circulation. Double circulation means the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood will be separated within the heart and separately are going to be circulated to the heart. Never going to be mixed this type of blood. Now the relaxation condition of a heart is known as a diastole, whereas the contraction of the heart that known as a systole. When the blood full with the atrium of the ventricles, then the atrium of the ventricles are relaxed or having the thickening signs that known as a diastole. But when the blood pushes out from this type of chamber, then they are contract that known as a systole. Now during the diastole, what happened? First one, the deoxygenated blood from the body parts are going to be circulated to the right atrium through vena cava. The first one, during the diastole, from the body parts, the deoxygenated blood are going to be circulated to the right atrium by using the vena cava. At the same time, from the lungs, the oxygenated blood will be circulated in the left atrium by using the pulmonary vein. So the blood are going to be enter into the atrium. So the atrium will be the full of the blood. So they are going to be relaxed. That known as a relaxation. Now the atrium are going to be contract, and during the contraction of the atrium, they contain the thin chamber because the blood are going to be passed from the left atrium to the left ventricle and from right atrium to the right ventricle. So when the blood are going to be full in the left atrium or the right atrium, they are going to be contract, and the valves between the atrium, bicuspid and the tricuspid open, and from the left atrium the oxygenated blood will be pushed down in left ventricle, and the deoxygenated blood from the right atrium pushes down into the right ventricle. Clear? Now the ventricles are full with the blood. So what will happen? Then the ventricles are going to be contract. So when the ventricles are going to be contract, from the left ventricle, the oxygenated blood by using of aorta, are going to be circulated to the body parts except the lungs. So oxygenated blood will be reached in the body parts by using of aorta. At the same time, the deoxygenated blood will be reached from the right ventricle to the lungs by using of pulmonary arteries. Now these incidents continuously repeat and blood circulation take place in human beings. Generally, we have the two type of circulation. One is the systematic circulation, another one is the pulmonary circulation. Systematic circulation means when the oxygenated blood circulated from left ventricle to the body parts, oxygenated blood, that known as a systematic. And the pulmonary circulation means from right ventricle to the lungs, deoxygenated blood, that known as a pulmonary circulation. Clear? By this way, the circulation takes place in human beings, and you will get some question relating to the circulation. What is open circulation? What is closed circulation? In case of the insect, the blood remains open in the body cavity. We know the insects are hemophilic in nature. It means the blood are going to be mixed with the hemophil, with the coelom. Blood are going to mix with the coelom and forms the hemophil. So the blood are opened within the body cavity. This type of circulation are known as the open circulation. But the animals like the dog, cat or the human beings, our bloods are closed, always present within the blood capillaries of the veins of the arteries of the heart. That's why we have the closed circulation. That's enough for today. Hope you understand this topic. If you have any doubt, you can mention it in the comment section.